Hi guys and welcome back. So today I'm going to be showing you how to make a two-tiered birthday cake. Let's begin. So to start on the rainbow cake, you'll want to get yourself 6 bowls and place in around a tablespoon and a half of milk into each one. Then add the colour in and give it all a good mix until they're incorporated. So when it comes to using the colours, you'll want to use paste rather than liquid or a gel, as they just aren't concentrated enough for the bright colours. So to start on the cake, you'll want to get yourself a mixing bowl of choice and place in your butter and your granulated sugar and beat the two together until they are very well combined. They should be lighter and fluffier in colour and consistency. So while your butter and sugar are beaten together, you can then prepare your tins that you will need later on. I'm using 8-inch sandwich tins, and all I'm doing is rubbing some butter on the base and on the sides of the tin, and then I will flour them, and I will also add a circle of grease-proof paper. You can pick these up anywhere, or if you want to cut your own out you can, whichever works best for you. Doing this to the tin is just an extra step to prevent the cake from sticking to the tin, because you don't want to get all the way through to the end and then realise you've got a cake stuck, so you've got to remake a cake and it's just wasteful. You don't really want to do that, so do these extra steps and it will prevent your cake from sticking in the tin. Again, this is an optional step, but you can beat your eggs together until they are one consistency and then just start to add it to your cake mixture a little at a time. But feel free to add a whole egg at a time if you'd like. Just do this until all of your eggs have been added. So now you can give the bowl a good scraping down. This is just to incorporate any bits that may not have been fully worked in from earlier on. So next you can add the dry ingredients, passing them through a sieve first to remove any lumps that may have been in the dry mixture, as dry mixes are known to have lumps in. Passing through a sieve will fix this. You can then mix it on a low to medium speed to start with, working your way up to a medium high speed, just to incorporate everything, and you'll want to mix it until it's a clear batter. You can then give the bowl a good scraping down just to incorporate any bits that may not have been fully worked in from the side of the bowl or the bottom of the bowl. You will then want to take the mixture and put it into another bowl over a pair of weighing scales just to get the total mass of cake mix you've got there. You will then want to divide this amount by 6 and add that amount into each of the bowls. So you want to add into your purple and give it a good mix. Do it with the green, the blue, the orange, the yellow and the red. And do this until all of your cake batters have been coloured and are ready. Now you can add the cake batter to the cake tin and spread it out to level it, so this will help with the baking process and make it bake more consistently. I can get all 6 into my oven, bake as many as you can in one go. Into your mixing bowl, you'll want to place your butter and your granulated white sugar and beat them together until they are lighter and fluffier in both colour and consistency. Then add your eggs one at a time, beating well in between each addition, and you'll want to do this until you have no eggs left. Give the sides and the bottom of the bowl a good scraping down just to incorporate any bits that may not have been fully worked in from earlier on. Then you can add in your dry ingredients, again passing them through a sieve just to remove any lumps that may have built up in the mixture. You can start mixing on a low to medium speed, working your way up to a medium high speed, and once your cake batter starts to form, you'll want to slowly mix it back down and start to add in your milk and vanilla. I needed to add milk as the batter was a bit stiff and I wanted it to be the perfect consistency, so adding a bit of milk is the way to fix this. You can then give the bowl a good scraping down just to incorporate any bits of ingredients that may not have been fully worked in from earlier on. Next you'll want to add in the sprinkles and just fold these in until they are incorporated, being careful not to overmix the mixture at this point. And once you've done this, you can then get yourself another bowl and add the cake mixture into that, get the total weight and divide that by 3, and take that amount and put it into each tin. Don't forget to butter, flour and line your cake tins. Level all of your cakes with an offset or cramped palette knife. This will just help with the consistency of the baking. So to make the simple syrup, just use equal parts water and sugar. I added a dash of vanilla as well. Bring to a boil, allow it to cool, then brush each of your cakes over with a generous amount of it. Now it's time to assemble the cake, so get your cake board or cake drum and spread a small amount of buttercream on the bottom. Then put your first layer, which is the purple layer of cake, on, press it down to secure it in place, and then place a generous amount of the buttercream filling and just spread it out until it's level and consistent. You will then want to add the blue layer on top of that, just pressing down to secure in place, and repeat the same step of adding the buttercream and spreading it out until it's level and consistent. You want to do this for the remaining layer of your cakes. So once you've got your cake sandwiched together, you can then give your cake a crumb coat. This is just a thin layer of icing to lock in all of those crumbs, which then won't appear on your final layer of icing and ruin the complete look of your cake. So once the crumb coat is completely done, you can then place it in the fridge to firm up for around half an hour to 40 minutes. So it's the same process with the little cake which goes on top, but I'm using a 6-inch board for the 6-inch cake, as you don't want the board to be seen as it's there for support. You'll want to sandwich it together using the buttercream, spreading it out and then layering your next layer on, and repeat for your whole or complete 3 layers. Once they are sandwiched together and are done, you can then start to apply the crumb coat. Again, this is just a thin coat of icing to lock in all of those crumbs and stop them from ruining the final coat. So once your crumb coat is done, you will want to place this cake in the fridge again for around 30 to 45 minutes or until firm. So here is just the plain vanilla buttercream that I've made, and this is for the bottom tier. But first I will add in some sprinkles and then just fold them in using my spatula. Be careful not to overmix as the colours may bleed from the sprinkles. So with the sprinkle icing, you can start to apply the final coat of buttercream onto your cake. Starting with the top, level it out and smooth it out. And if it goes over the sides, don't worry, you can use that then on the sides. You don't need an awful lot of buttercream to have a good coat on it, but I had just the right amount. I will leave all that information in the blog post, which will be linked down below. It's the same process for the top tier, apart from the buttercream I'm using has been coloured a pink, but feel free to customise the colours. This was just the colours that the person wanted. Once Once you're completely done, you can then place it into the fridge to firm up. So this stage is completely optional, but I had some leftover sprinkled buttercream and decided to pipe a border of shells around the edge of the cake. Again, this is completely optional and you don't have to do it, but I thought why not. Use a small amount of the leftover buttercream on top of the sprinkle or rainbow cake and just spread it out. Then you can place the pink or the top tier on top, just press it down to secure it in place. And I use buttercream or sometimes royal icing, whichever I've got, and today with buttercream. You may notice that there's a gap at the bottom. You can fix this with some of the remaining pink buttercream, but I didn't want to mess it up like I probably would have, so I just piped some more shells around the edge, but feel free to correct it however you like. So once you've got all of that done, you can start to do the white chocolate grip, and this is just a white chocolate ganache. Again, I will leave all of the recipes on the blog post, which will be linked down below. I find the drips easiest to control with a piping bag with the ganache in, but you can do it however you like, in a squeezy bottle or with a teaspoon. I've tried all the methods, whichever method works best for you, use that. So with the remaining sprinkled buttercream, I pipe roses on top of the cake. You can put the candles in here or whatever you like, I'm really leaving it up to you. So this cake was for my cousin's 18th birthday, so I was able to show you what it looked like inside. And as you can tell, the sprinkle sponge hasn't got any sprinkles in, they've just laid it into the cake. I don't know how or why. But the rainbow cake looks as impressive as it always would. And no, these aren't the portions I will be cutting for everybody, they will be cut in half again. I was just cutting a big piece to show you the inside of the cake. So thank you so much for watching, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe for more from me. And I'll be back again next week with another video, so join me then. In the meanwhile, don't forget to check out my old blog posts and my old videos. Check out my social medias, I will leave all the links you need in the description down below. But that's all for this week, bye guys.